Thank you to Dr. Mark Hyman, who's been my friend and partner on these issues for over 20 years. Thanks, Vonnie Harry, who's been an extraordinary leader. And then Marty McCary, I'm so grateful that you agreed to join the administration. And Jay Bhattacharya, will you guys come up here and stand behind me? We have an amazing team at HHS. When my uncle was president in the 1960s, we had the healthiest people in the world. And one of the basic assumptions of our country was that because we were robust people, because we were vigorous, because we were tough, we had what my uncle called this beef jerky toughness that was responsible for our country being the land of the brave and the home of the free. The greatest industrial power in the world, the wealthiest country. We owned half the wealth on earth when my uncle was president, and part of that was because of the vigor of our society. And that's one of the reasons he started the Presidential Council on Physical Fitness, because he saw that he felt that Americans were getting soft, and it was going to steal from us and erode all of our leadership, our moral authority, and our values, and our role as an exemplary nation. And since his death, we've had this extraordinary chronic disease epidemic. When my uncle was president, 3% of American kids had chronic disease. Today, it's around 60%. And these are a broad category, the ones that Marty mentioned, like ADHD, the neurological disorders, ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, tics, Tourette syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, and autism. All of these are injuries that I never heard of when I was a kid. They were not part of the nomenclature. They weren't part of the dialogue. There was zero spent in this country treating chronic disease when my uncle was president. Today, it's about $1.8 trillion annually.
Hey, welcome back, guys. We are back again. We are with Robert Kennedy Jr. He is gonna today get rid of all the dyes in our food. Basically, they're gonna make America healthy again. There ain't no other country that wants to frickin' trade with our food because our food is full of poison. Poison. They've been poisoning us for years. Autism. They've been poisoning us for years, poisoning your kids. The Democrats, the Republicans, they've been poisoning your kids. That should piss you off. If your kids have problems, that should piss you off. If you have problems, that should piss you off. Come on, guys, it's time to wake up. That's why Donald Trump hired Robert Kennedy Jr. to do this. To take all the poisons out of our food so we can live happy and healthy. It's obvious to see. Wake up. America, wake up. Give me all your hate mail, Democrats. You got nobody to run with. The Democrat Party will cease to exist because of all the good stuff the Trump team is going to do here very soon. And already done. They already done. They've done a ton. I want to see arrests. I want to see them physically. I want people arrested for treason. I want to see all of it. I want to see all of it. Like you promised. I want to see the Epstein list. Where is the Epstein list? I want to see the Epstein list. I want to see who was there. I don't care who was there. I want to know. They promised us. They promised us. They promised us. They said it was on Bonnie's desk. She did. Let's go. I know. They have so much stuff to do, guys. They have so much stuff to do. All right, I'm getting back. Let's go.
It's bankrupting our nation. 74% of American kids cannot qualify for military service. How are we going to maintain our global leadership with such a sick population? We have all these autoimmune diseases, these exotic diseases. And again, I never heard of juvenile diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Crohn's disease, and 100 others that were just unknown when I was a kid. I never knew anybody with a peanut allergy. I never knew anybody with a food allergy. Why do 5 of my 7 kids have allergies? I never knew of anybody who had eczema. I knew of a very small number of children who had asthma, but that has exploded as well today. And our fertility is dropping dramatically. Teenagers in this country today have the same testosterone levels as 68-year-old men. Our girls are reaching puberty 6 years early, from 10 to 14 years old. And this is existential for our country. And we have to address it. And one of the probably, when I met with, and I want to commend the food companies for working with us to achieve this agreement or this settlement. And when I went in a few months or about a month ago to meet with a few food companies, I was talking with my staff about these petroleum-based dyes, and I said if they want to add petroleum, if they want to eat petroleum, they ought to add it themselves at home. But they shouldn't be feeding it to the rest of us. And without our knowledge or consent. And unfortunately, we're going to get rid of the dyes, and then one by one, we're going to get rid of every ingredient and additive in food that we can legally address. One of the problems is that the industry, which all of these industries, cast a dark shadow historically over this agency. And there's so many conflicts that we are now systematically eliminating.
Great.
That has allowed them to suppress the science. There's shockingly few studies, even on food dyes,
no more,
and on all these other all these other ingredients as well. And Jay Bhattacharya, who is here and who is running the director of NIH, is now narrowly targeting these kind of food additives for scientific study, so that one by one we can start eliminating them where they can. Where we can't, there's things that we'll never be able to eliminate, like sugar. And sugar is poison, and Americans need to know that. It is poisoning us. It's giving us a diabetes 100%. Crisis. When I was a kid, I always say this, a typical pediatrician would see 1 case of diabetes in his lifetime. Today, it's 1 out of every 3 kids who walks through his office door. In our most recent study from NIH, 38% of American teens, it's half our adult population. This is existential. We are spending as much on mitochondrial disorders like diabetes as we spend on our military budget. We can't continue to exist like this. And the problem is industry is making money keeping us sick. There
you go, folks. He said it, and it's coming out. They're making money off us. That's why they're keeping us sick. That's why I'll show you here in just a minute.
He pointed out ADHD is associated with all these behavioral disorders. But those disorders are treated not by changing our diet, but providing medications to treat our kids. And they get medicated, and that's the only solution. And, I would point out that there is part of the etiology of these diseases is a kind of media malpractice, a mass psychosis that has our media not talking about this. And one of the possible reasons for that is the amount of money that's coming from the pharmaceutical companies into our media and from these food companies, or the advertising. The advertising has at least plays a factor. So that revenue, that extraordinary revenue stream, in disabling their capacity or their inclination for skepticism and for critical thinking. So Americans don't know what they're eating. and they don't know the implications of those things. And for those products, Mark Hyman says in his book, the 10-day sugar detox diet, which I'll give a plug to, is a very good book. He talks about how dangerous sugar is and how it's as addictive as crack. And our children are addicted to it from when they're little kids. Our agency recommends, I think, a huge amount of sugar for kids from when they're born. And it's hurting them, and it's addicting them, and it's changing their taste buds so that they crave it. And it's disabling our population. So for those ingredients that we can't ban legally, we're going to start informing Americans about what they're eating. And we're going to try to work with Congress and the White House to make sure that we have adequate labeling so mothers who go into the grocery stores know what is good for their children and what is not. I want to say one other thing about the moms. When I went and spoke for the first time, and I met with the heads of all the food industry companies, one of the things that they said to us is that the worst thing for us is if we have a patchwork of legislation in all these different states, because then we're not capable of marketing nationally distributed products, because we're going to have different regulations in every state. And they didn't want that, and that's one of the reasons they came to the table with us. I want to thank Speaker Schultz, and I want to thank Governor Morrissey, and I visited many other governors in Virginia and West Virginia, in Arizona and Utah, and other states that are having these local bans.
One in the morning.
Those bans have given us leverage to make demands in the food company,
and I wash it down with Schweppes tonic water. It has quinine in it. That's only what I do. I'm not telling anybody to do it.
Only reason that those states have banned these products is because of these ladies and millions of more across the country, the warrior moms who have powered the MAHA movement.
We're going to have healthy kids, healthy people.
And I just want to urge all of you, it's not the time to stop. It's the time to redouble your efforts, because we have them on the run now. And we are going to win this battle.
That's
and
right.
4 years from now, we're going to have most of these products off the market, or you will know about them when you go in the grocery store. So I want to thank them.
I got to give them a break. I mean, come on, guys. We want to be healthy. They've been poisoning us.
Finally, and most importantly, I want to thank President Trump.
Absolutely.
President Trump often, says that he's going to make America great again. But he knows that he cannot make our country great again if our country is weak, if we're not healthy, if we don't have vigor, if we're not a robust people. He says that he's going to restore the American dream. And a healthy person has 1,000 dreams. The sick person only has one. And right now, there's 60% of people in this country who have only one dream. If they can make it through a day without pain, with energy, without having to take medications.
Thank you. Has anybody else been tired all day, every day? Go to work, come home, be tired. You're tired. That's what I am. I'm tired every damn day. Tired every damn day from all these poisons that we're taking. I'm tired of it.
And we are going to change that for our country. And I want to thank the moms and thank President Trump for his confidence in my leadership and for allowing me to surround myself with such an extraordinary team of scientists who are going to restore transparency to this agency. We're going to do replicated science. We're going to restore gold standard science so we know what's in our food and we can eliminate it. Thank you all very much.
Hey, I give him, man, that's awesome. You see what's going on here? Trump's got a heck of a team all the way around.
Thank you, Secretary Kennedy. Thank you to everyone for being here, and thank you to the press for attending today. We're going to take some questions from the press. If you can please say your first, last name, and outlet when I call on you, that would be great.
All right, we're going to leave it right here, man. I'm super, super pumped with Robert Kennedy Jr. Are you guys super pumped? We're going to be healthy. We're going to be healthy. That's what we want. There's countries that won't even touch our food because of the poison in our food. He hit it right on the nail. Man, you guys, we got the best president in the world. We got people like Robert Kennedy Jr. We got people all over the place that he set in place. The gold standard's coming back. XRP is going up. Bitcoin is going up. Come on, guys. The golden age of America is coming, and it's coming fast. We're going to have technologies that you've never seen before. Some of us already have a general idea of what's coming up. We've been awake for 4 to 6 years. Yeah. Boy. And we haven't even, man, wait till you find out what some of the evil people have done. Did anybody watch the evil Pope that died? His ceremony today looked like a freaking satanic ritual. And what was the deal with the bruises on his face? What's going on there, guys? I got questions about that. I'm curious. That looks like a satanic freaking ritual. I don't know if you guys seen it. Anyway, all right, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. And, man, I appreciate it. We are going to, I think, 2,000 subscribers, man. That is freaking amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.